Hi, I've made this follow-up video to complete my talk on healing abandonment issues. So if you've seen my other two videos about how they tend to show up, that's not an exhaustive list, it's just a couple of examples. But if you feel like you have a bit of a wound in there that needs healing, then stay with me for a little bit here and buckle in, because I want you to try something. Best not to try this if you are really triggered at the time. You will need distress soothing or some sort of connection or support if it's feeling really painful. So don't try this right now if you're really triggered, but try it, please, when you sort of can feel it and activate that emotion a little bit, but it's not overwhelming and traumatic for you. So what we tend to do when we're starting to go into a place where we feel really distressed and we know that abandonment insecurity stuff's triggering off, we tend to start to go into our head and completely out of our body. So this exercise is a visualization, and our brain does not know the difference between real or imagined. So if you can imagine it well enough, it's like you are there. So I want you to try this visualization exercise with me. It's kind of touches on a little bit spiritual too. So get comfy, settle down for a sec and take a deep breath. So let's try this together. So for a moment, I invite you to just check in. So let's get out of that thinking brain and the frantic thoughts and the analyzing and the what if and the this and the that. And let's just drop in. So slow it right down, because your heart rate might be going a little bit faster. You might be trying to distract yourself or keep busy. So let's just settle in and think for a minute, actually feel for a minute how your body is. Is there any sensations that are really poking out at you? Are your shoulders up? Are you hunched? Do you feel like you're holding something in a certain pattern? So let's bring it all down. Bring the shoulders down. Take a breath and slow the out breath, because that will activate your parasympathetic nervous system. So we really want to start to get into more rest and digest than fight and flight here. So we're not under threat. So let's see if you can even pick maybe a color or shape or an image that's connected with the feeling you have right now. Now, you may have had just a recent incident that's triggered this off, so that might be your image, but my sense is it probably goes a lot deeper and a lot younger. So just holding that in a curious, compassionate space for a second. So let's not try and judge, analyze, fix, or change for a moment. So holding that emotion with some tenderness and some compassion. And we're going to try a little visualization to take care of you in this moment. So think to yourself, have you ever really looked up to either a spiritual or wise figure in the media or in the history books, or even just in a movie? It could be fantasy or real. Keep family members out of this, or loved ones. We really want to go for someone who has represented like a universal wisdom, and someone who seems really nurturing and kind and has the universe's compassion at their fingertips. So just take a moment to decide on your spiritual, wise, nurturing figure. And then I want you to close your eyes if you can, or just have a soft gaze. And you're going to imagine that you are putting yourself in a very comfortable meeting place. So this meeting place can be outside or inside. It can have furniture. It can have no furniture. It could have a little seat that you can sit on. You could be sitting on the floor. Or even your surroundings could feel quite nurturing, and let's hopefully feel safe. That word doesn't appeal for everyone, but find a meeting place where it's just you and you can just be there for a minute and take a moment to think, where are you sitting or standing? Where are you in this space? And in your mind's eye, take a look around. What does it look like? Down to the details. We want the details here. What does it sound like? Are there little noises or maybe nature sounds, or it could be traffic, it could be just something that means something to you. So really create this in as much depth as you can. Put yourself in this place. How does your body feel being in here? What emotions do you have here? What's the air feel like? Take note of all the little details, the colours, the scenery, or the pieces around you. So really create your place here. And then returning back to this spiritual wise figure you've chosen. Now this spiritual wise figure, if you're still having trouble figuring it out, could even be an animal if you have a real connection to Earth and Mother Nature. It could be an entity rather than an actual person, but try and give it as much depth and detail as you can. So invite this figure, animal, force, entity, to come and sit by you. And then imagine and really feel what it's like to be around this entity, figure, person. What sort of energy fills the space around you? How do they look? How do they move? What happens when you both look at each other or start to greet? Now this person will have 100% unconditional acceptance for you and how you feel. They will know you inside and out. And they will just be able to tap into the wisdom of ages and this greater energy, bigger than you and I could imagine. So just picturing that. Now going back to your difficulty, the issue you had at the beginning and how you felt about it, I want you to hand this to your spiritual wise figure and say, what do I do? What do I feel? How do I think about this? And hand it over to them, and then just wait. So you're really trying to not use your thinking brain here. Let it come to you. Don't necessarily overthink it or create it. I mean, your brain will create it anyway. But just hand this pain, suffering issue to them and just see what they say. See how they react. Maybe they don't say anything. Maybe they give you a signal or an image. And just let that come to you and allow yourself to just be with that for a while. Now there is timelessness in this space, so you don't have to rush out of it or in of it, and you don't have to analyze it. Just kind of feel your way through it. And you can even pause the video here just to really sink in and stay in that place. And allow each other to communicate and connect. And then at the end, you may choose to go away and write about this, because cementing it with a bit of cognitive journaling or just allowing it to flow, even in a letter, you could create a letter or a little memo to yourself about this experience that will really solidify the neural networks of feeling held in this compassionate, fully accepting space. So I wish you all the best with this. I hope this journey has helped clarify the approach that we wish we had when we're in a little bit of pain. Thanks.